Okay. The award goes to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wow, would you look at that? Another win for Red Dead 2. Well, it is nominated for Game of the Year, so I guess it has to win for every other category as well.
And the Game Award for Best Audio Design goes to Red Dead Redemption 2. It's having a pretty good night.
Best Sound Design, Red Dead 2, of course! I mean, it's not like Tetris Effect came out this year with the most amazing sound design of any game in the past 5 years, but it wasn't nominated for Game of the Year like Red Dead, so it can't win in other categories.
Best Sports Racing Game.
These genres have a lot in common. I could see why they lumped them together. It's definitely not because they couldn't be bothered to have interesting categories, or because ad time is more important than having one more award. No, it's because they really work well in the same category. Dreambot, I've come from the darkest timeline in order to fix this one. You're becoming too cynical, and your timeline is at risk of becoming as dark as my own, and if that happens, our worlds will merge together. Oh, hot damn. Well, that doesn't sound good. What can we do to stop it? It's simple, stupid. We'll host our own Game Awards to celebrate the games that truly deserve it, and host them now, in the new year, instead of before the year is actually over, so games like Smash Bros. And Ashen don't get missed out on in exchange for more viewers over the holidays. Yeah, that sounds pretty great, but does Red Dead 2 have to win everything? It doesn't have to win anything. It was just Red Dead 1 with a fresh coat of paint. We'll have very specific awards and niche categories instead of stuff like Best Multiplayer or Best Family Game. We'll pick what we feel truly deserves it for individual categories. Even if the game sucks but had one thing it did really well, it will get an award for that. And we'll call it the 100% Objective Game Awards. So it will be an award show based on biased opinion and only focusing on games we played and not considering things from other people's perspectives? Correct. Isn't that pretty subjective? I mean, not for a couple of fucking narcissists like us, am I right, my guy? Yeah, you're right. Nice. Welcome to the true and only Game Awards that matter, the 100% Objective Game Awards. I played more games this year than I have in any previous years in my game-filled lifetime, all while still maintaining my Smite addiction and playing this shitty game with friends because it's all they care about for some reason. For these awards, I will be dishing out a trophy to each and every game I put at least 5 hours into this year, followed by a Game of the Year award that has 5 nominees. This will be a pretty long video with lots of awful bits where I try to prove I'm funny. Spoiler, I'm not. So, without further ado, let's start the awards. Best Flow State. So for those of you who don't know, flow state in gaming is when you enter a certain mindset during a game, where you almost forget the controller is even in your hands. You aren't thinking, you're just acting on instincts, and it's working. Perfectly timing your jumps in a platformer like you're practicing for SGDQ. Flawlessly timing out your button inputs to execute a nasty combo in a fighting game, as if you're goddamn Bruce Almighty answering our gamer prayers. Well, Dead Cells is the king of flow state this year. When you first start off the game, your runs will go a little something like this. Just gonna slide down here. Oh, first enemy. Don't panic. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Here we go, another one here. Yeah. All right. I'm getting the hang of this. Press R to open. Don't mind if I do. Doesn't seem to be anything in here. Go down here. Check out these boys. Oh, okay. No, let's get out of here. Getting a little rough. Nope, this does not seem to be better. Okay, nope. Yeah, no. Oh, yep. There we go. I'm dead. A little bit of a slow start, but after a couple hours, your runs will start to look like this. Oh, press R to open. No, thank you! Woo, let's get it! Woo, keep moving, boys. Keep moving. Here we go. Do a little ice grenade. Yeah, you frozen. We freezing, and we killing. We freezing again, and we killing again. Ooh, first boss of the game. This is a scary moment. Not really when you got 2 ice grenades in your back pocket. Roll past him. Can't see me. Hit him with the ice. One more ice grenade to finish him off, and you're done. You're done, son. I don't got time for your bowling balls, son. Hit him with the ice, and goodbye. Do you understand the power you've just left me? Would you look at this? Another boss. Isn't that cute? Did your friends forget to tell you I'm literally Sub-Zero now? You're perpetually frozen, my friend. One more ice for good measure, and I'm zipping through this game. Let's go. Ice him. Stab him. Ice him, stab him, never fails. Momentum has brought me to this moment. Here we go, ice him up! Ice him, can't be stopped. Keep icing, we got this! Come on, you icy bastard. And I fucking died to the last boss again. I'm so sick of this game, man. After only a few hours of playing, you start moving and busting about, dodging enemies that ain't even worth your time. It feels great. Playing quick and precise like this is optional, but I kinda fell into it naturally. And there's some implementation in the level design, with doors that lock after certain time spent in a run, giving you incentive to move it or lose it. If you want a game where you can witness your own improvement easily through the reduction in runtime almost every consecutive run, and a game that flows like no other once you've given it some time, play this gem. Best Puzzle Design. This 2-hour experience follows two childhood friends as they live through their fondest memories together. Except you don't control the characters. No. You control time itself. That's right, you're a Time Lord now. The way they use this time mechanic to create puzzles around everyday objects from the kids' memories is a visual treat and incredibly satisfying. The puzzles found the perfect balance for me, where they were never overly frustrating, like ones where I sat there for an hour asking myself why I'm so stupid, or too easy to the point where they felt like filler for a narrative experience. They mixed it up enough throughout the game's short runtime that the puzzle mechanics never got stale. Although, honestly, I could have done a few more hours of puzzles like these ones, easily. I feel like designing puzzles that cohere with the rest of the game's story are hard to come by these days. Even sometimes in games that only involve puzzle solving, the narrative can seem disjointed from the problem solving. But in Gardens Between, time is the framework for the narrative and for the gameplay, which just engrossed me in this game all the more. The story wasn't told alongside gameplay, it was told through gameplay, so when you solved a difficult puzzle, you were solving a piece of the narrative puzzle as well. So when that narrative puzzle finally came together at the end, it was a very rewarding and euphoric experience. Best Concept. A Metroidvania where you only have 1 minute to live. Great premise, great execution. The puzzle design around this time limit are great, and it really lives up to the elevator pitch. This game doesn't overstay its welcome with its short runtime, and I'd love to see more games with interesting concepts like this come out and give me a nice, quick, and unique experience. Worst Game Over Screen. This here. No one wants to see this. No one especially wants to see these words in combination with these words. It's not good, it's not fun. But let me tell you why this one in Spider-Man is worse than all the rest this year. Before I played this game, I would be browsing the dream web and occasionally see some memes about the stealth missions in Spider-Man. I thought to myself, they can't be that annoying, let's give it a go and see what all the fuss is about. The first two stealth missions were as dull as nails in terms of gameplay, but offered a nice change of pace that I appreciated. But then there was another stealth mission, and another stealth mission, and by halfway through the game, these missions had overstayed their welcome. They wouldn't have been so eye-roll inducing when they came up if they weren't so fucking boring. Honestly, I could write a better stealth mission than these. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna write a better stealth mission than these. Right now. Here we go. Take a look. Never mind, not even my own scripted stealth missions are good. Stop doing stealth missions. Anyway, back to Spider-Man stealth missions. They just felt like poorly designed, low-budget ways to lengthen the game's runtime. Instead of listening to the important exposition these well-written side characters were giving every time they came on screen, every time I saw Miles' stupid face I was going, fuck! Again? So the long drawn-out reason as to why this Spider-Man game over screen is the worst of the year is because it meant I had to play these dumb stealth missions over again. It also kind of bummed me out to see a game with such polish and passion include such low-quality stealth missions. It'd be like Red Dead 2 or Breath of the Wild having stealth missions. Wait, they do have stealth missions? You sure this isn't the darkest timeline? Anyway, you don't have to completely omit the downtime in your action games. Just make it mediocre, not bad. The Biggest Nostalgia Trip Award. Now, I played the original a hot minute ago and remember ogling over the graphics back then. so it was to my surprise when the remaster gave me that same jaw-dropping gaze all over again. Nothing much needs to be said about this game that hasn't already. It's a visual juggernaut all over again, the soundtrack still gives me goosebumps, and the gameplay is the same as you remember it, for better or worse. Playing this game now is like a recursive state for me. I'm remembering when I played it on PS3 remastered, then remembering in that memory how I played it on PS2, it's a mindfuck. But even if they re-release it again on the PS5, 6, and Vita 2, I would cherish reliving these memories all over again. Because this game is a legend, and my memories of it are always a treat to revisit. Most immersive. VR games have the potential to be the most immersive experiences just by design, so it's almost unfair to include them on this list. But honestly, 90% of titles have failed to meet this standard, and have just been cool gimmicks that you can fool around with for 20 minutes. That is certainly not the case with Moss. Moss has you play as a spirit, controlling the protagonist from a top-down perspective, which is a fresh take for VR. The things they do with scale in this game are unreal. Not only do they give you a realistic view of how small Quill is and how the world around her has depth, but you're just the middleman. The world beyond you is even bigger, with towering trees and life-size animals hanging out in the background. Not only that, but the echoey sound design and incredible animation done on Quill make you forget about the world outside the headset. Moss is my #1 recommendation for VR this year. The Game I Desperately Want to Be Good At award. I've never really been intensely into Smash Bros. I mean, I used to play the old ones with my friends, but with full items and 4 players and constantly forgetting how to recover. But that was pretty much the full extent of my Smash career. Then at the beginning of last year I met some tubular bros who were way into Melee, which I suck at, so I felt like my best option to catch up with these Melee boys was to wait for Smash Ultimate to drop and try and keep up with them there. And now my competitive side has awoken again. I'm practicing on my own, learning new techniques and occasionally pulling off some pretty cool biz. I'm spending long hours on YouTube watching tournaments and checking out tier lists to see where my character ranks. I'm even winning the occasional match against my Melee pals, so I'm thinking it's time to take my talents online and sign up for some upcoming tournaments. And then my dreams are smashed to a million pieces, just like my little Mac at 30%, because his recovery is worse than a fucking plant's. Boy, do I still have a long way to go to be good at this game. The fighting in this game has so much nuance that I haven't even dug into yet. There's so much thought put into your next move. Reading your opponent is just as important as hitting your inputs. It's definitely a steep learning curve, but I'm ready to climb it. Now I know my slow learning is partially my fault for choosing Little Mac as my main, but I've been workshopping some new characters, and if my Bowser Jr. is as good as I think he is, I think you'll be seeing me at some tournaments. The Dark Souls of 2018 award. This game is a Souls-like in the sense that it can basically be called Dark Souls but with no faces, and be the 4th entry in the series. It has virtually the same combat, a dark, quiet world with NPCs who speak in riddles instead of just fucking telling you what's going on. It even has the same convoluted multiplayer that you have to look up online how to access. But I don't really find the similarities to be an issue, nor do I feel it is a straight up ripoff. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve, sure, but it also has its own story to tell. It does Souls gameplay just as well, and in some places even a little better. It contains its own interesting lore and enemy design to keep it fresh enough for it to stand out on its own. It has more open environments than Dark Souls, and the animation is top notch. It even does a sense of scale on par with Dark Souls, which is saying a lot. If you're gonna play one Souls-like this year, play Ashen. It's like the Dark Souls of Dark Souls clones. Alright, it's time to break the mold a little bit and do a little multiplayer montage. I played a handful of really good couch co-op and online multiplayer games this year, and I think the best way to award these types of games is just to show some fun clips from them. So here you are. What do we need right now? We need a chicken potato combo.
I got it coming up.
You do? No, I got it. You're good.
Fuck you.
Fuck! I dumped the potatoes in the trash!
Why?
It's tough, it's right beside it. Put the steak in first. Shut the hell up.
What? Why did you say that to me?
Just
Stop throwing stuff back, bro. This is gonna be a real problem.
No, we're not gonna make this one. Move something.
Okay, I'm in it.
Take it. Okay, I'm moving on to the
Oh
other
god,
side.
oh god.
Oh no, we're all on the other side? Oh fuck! What can we... What can we...
God.
No. Just go up the ramp. Oh, I hate it. Oh. Yes! Oh my god. Oh fuck.
Oh Jesus, I don't know, man.
Oh, you gotta aim that though. Yeah, aim it up at the sky, dude.
The thing is fucking inverted.
Here now.
Yeah, I'm coming up here.
You can like, it's pretty funny when you climb it actually.
What do you mean?
You
Get off my bridge.
get stuck on it, so you like,
Oh my god, you just destroyed us. Holy shit! How do you do that?
I don't know.
Mike, tell me!
I just, dude, shut up! I just hit a bunch of buttons. Oh, you figured it.
Both
I think it's all
bumpers, I
four,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, ultimate. Pick up the crowbar, yeah, it's so helpful.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! You just comboed this shit out of me. I gotta dodge this. Oh my god.
You loud? What the fuck? I remember being that loud last time. Yeah, good man.
We're gonna need to anchor.
Alright, I'm on it. Got it. Oh fuck, we're gonna hit the rock. We're gonna hit the rock! Oh, shit.
Nailed it.
Shit.
This is playing stupid music right now.
Good old Pirates of the
They're
Caribbean
playing
music.
the fucking Pirates of the Caribbean song.
That's fucking awesome. I love it. Fucking Megalodon. Trying to get a good shot on him.
His thing.
Okay, Josh, I'm jumping on his ship.
It says over here.
It says we're friendly. He wants a truce. Oh, I gotta feel bad now. What the what is happening? Oh, I'm dizzy. What is going on?
Oh shit, we passed it.
Josh? Josh?
This'll be right under.
This should do the trick.
Good old health potion. Pink. Sorry, dude.
What the fuck?
This guy looks special. Gonna have some slow-mo.
Well, that guy's cool.
And they're both instantly dead. Not as cool as you thought, though.
See, I don't think it hurts me.
Oh shit. I missed. Can't decide who he wants to. Oh. Good job, Josh. Oh, one of them's coming. Watch out!
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god, why? You just got dunked on, dude. Best anime. Now, I didn't watch as much anime as I did in other years, but Dragon Ball FighterZ surpasses the ones I did. And I don't even like Shonen Jump. But this game made me feel like I was playing a goddamn Dragon Ball episode. I had instant flashbacks to the shows when implementing the smooth and satisfying combos. The story isn't half bad either, pretty much on par with the Dragon Ball episode. They even created their own original Dragon Ball character, who fits great in the universe, and is incredibly fun to play. Arc System Works, please continue to make anime fighting games. Give me some One Punch Man or do something weird and wild, I don't know. But that art style is going to be hard to rival for anime-based games. Best fast travel system. Games tend to make fast travel really boring. I've made a video previously that mentions Skyrim's lame-ass fast travel, and how I find fast travel as a mechanic to be, for the most part, genuinely immersion-breaking and unintuitive. However, there have been a couple interesting ones this year. Although the wait times in God of War were long as hell, the fast travel fit the world really well. And although the one in Spider-Man was almost unnecessary given how fun it is to swing around the city, watching Spidey ride the New York subway did make for some cute moments. But these are still examples of traditional fast travel systems, where you click on a destination and are magically there after a short cutscene, or in God of War's case, literal magic. So these don't even come close to the creative implementation that Yoku's Beeline fast travel has. It's incredibly thematic, has its own awesome song to go with it, and it takes very little time to jet you around the map without needing to put you in a menu or a loading screen. Sections of the Beeline also have to be bought, so you don't have immediate access to the whole thing at the beginning of the game, making it a reward for playing well and earning lots of points. Even some of my favorite games don't do fast travel in fun ways. I would love to see this level of originality implemented in other fast travel systems. Otherwise, I'm probably going to continue to hate the majority of them. Biggest disappointment. Brothers is in my top 10 games of all time. It has an incredibly powerful and personal story, great characters, music, scenery. To me, it's nearly a perfect game, and one of the most memorable gaming experiences I've had. What the heck happened, my guy? Bad voice acting, janky gameplay, contrived story, and just all-around cheese of a game. There were some fun moments, but only because we were playing the wrong way. It did manage to do some new and interesting things with co-op, but considering the impact Brothers left on me, it was just sad to play through this B-list video game. There's nothing like going from a game that had an almost tangible emotional impact on people to forgettable. Which to me is just the worst insult you can lay on a piece of art or entertainment. It's not even so bad it's good or unique in any way, it's just forgettable. Joseph Ferris, I still have faith in you, my man. Hit me with another Brothers. I mean, not a sequel, just another game like Brothers. A sequel would be depressing. It's just called Brother now. Oh, I made myself sad. Best dance moves. The Holy Shit It's 3 AM award. I picked this game up and could not put it down for the life of me. It is a blast. You start off kinda shitty while you figure out how the game works. Then just like Dead Cells, you improve really quick. You start to figure out how this tactic game works and settle into a nice bug-killing groove. The game starts to get hard again just when you've started to dominate. And now you're beginning to lose momentum. Then you pull off the sickest move ever and you're right back into it. There's a lot of thinking and testing out turns in this game, so you don't realize how much time has passed. Then you look at your recording and see it's been 4 hours already. And now you have to buy another external hard drive in order to finish this damn video. Hooray! You want to stop, but oh, I just unlocked another squad though. And new colors for my OG squad? Guess I can call in sick again tomorrow. Who needs money anyway, am I right? This game is dangerous, I tell ya. I'll be playing this for a long time to come. Best moment. As someone who's played the OG God of Wars, the moment where Kratos picks up the Blades of Chaos again gave me chills. I think it would still be a powerful moment without prior knowledge of the previous games, but it definitely added a whole nother layer to the scene, having used these bad boys for hours in my childhood. The whole scene was handled perfectly. From the long boat trip back home, where the world is beginning to go into chaos around you, and you steep in thought along with Kratos. From Athena's ghostly interruption reminding you again of your past. Even from the way they handle you having to fight barehanded, since your axe doesn't work against ice enemies. It all builds up to the moment you pick up the blades, step outside, and instead of having a cutscene where Kratos does all the work with the blades, you get to wreak havoc with them just like you used to. It's goddamn beautiful. Best random find. I was doing my rounds in the old indie game section of Steam during the fall sale when I stumbled on this little beauty. A nice, brisk 2-hour detective visual novel with good art design and a fun murder mystery to solve. The dialogue was charming, and while I could see the twist coming from a mile away, the journey up until that point was engaging, along with the initial plot being harder to solve. Nothing much to say about this one, just a nice experience from a game that did what it wanted to do and didn't try to do more. That's all some games need to be. If you're looking for a quick game to catch your attention between your next 4 hours of horse maintenance and Red Dead, give it a go. The Your Choices Actually Matter Award. Now this award was actually supposed to be presented by Telltale, but unfortunately they went out of business. It looks like their choice to not pay their employees and keep using the same outdated engine did actually matter, unlike the choices you made in their games. Oh well, on to the game where your choices do matter. Every choice in this game has weight. When I had to pull up that computer and make a decision, it was sweat-inducing. I mean oil. Oil-inducing. I'm a robot. Choices made you anxious on many occasions because one wrong move could have an immediate or long-term effect. Your crew can turn on you, you could get sick or go crazy, or push your team one turn too far and have them immediately be skeletons the next turn. Even when making wrong choices that were seemingly small, they would tend to snowball into worse and worse effects on you and your team. Choices in 60 parsecs always resulted in entertaining outcomes, and this game has incredible replay value with a lot of different scenarios that won't be seen on your first attempt. The endings and situations are pretty varied, so you don't feel like you have to replay 90% of the same game just to see that one thing that's different. If having your entire crew hate you and blame you for every bad decision doesn't cause your social anxiety to flare up like a bad infection, then 60 parsecs is the game for you. The All Style No Substance Award. This game had an interesting premise and a decent hand-drawn art style to accompany it. It's a puzzle game where you grab the words that are telling the story and turn them into items to use. But god dang is it poorly implemented. The gameplay is incredibly clunky, puzzles only have one way to solve them instead of you having to choose the right words or combo the right ones together. You can only grab the word that you need, so you can basically just mash A until you grab the right one. The humor is not my taste, and this dragon can suck my dream balls. The first two things that catch my attention when watching a trailer for a new game and deciding if I want to use my hard-earned dollar bills to play it is a game's art style, and then if I can see unique mechanics or gameplay. This game had them both in its trailer. Unfortunately, that seems to be where I had the most fun with it, watching a 2-minute clip. I hope these guys take their cool ideas and just add some more polish for their next game. Most meh. I don't really want to trash on indie devs anymore, man. This game didn't do anything egregious or aggravating, it was just very meh. The sprite work was okay, the music included musical notes, and the enemies did things that enemies would do. They had an interesting season swapping ability that didn't go fully realized, and I'm sorry guys, making games is a lot of work. I'm sure your next game I'll really like. Good luck. Okay, I do like this tree guy though. Best Anthropomorphism. Games tend to have a lot of anthropomorphized creatures and personified objects. It's easy to make things seem like they have feelings or act like people in video games because you usually are controlling that thing, so you feel a sense of connection to it naturally by being the one to make it do things. This year, the game that did anthropomorphism with the most charm and chutzpah was Pool Panic. They got pool balls that are spiders, pool balls on coasters, and pool balls that are sheep. Just look at these little guys running around. They created a whole world of human-esque billiards paraphernalia, and it worked. It worked real well. It also just fits with the rest of Adult Swim's creations. From the big dorky facial features and intentionally low-budget feel, it's got a weird sense of togetherness that goes well with everything being pool-related. It's like a Rick and Morty sketch or something. I don't know, I dig it. Most relaxing. If you want a game with easy puzzles, low-key resource management, and subtle sound design that allows you to just enjoy the gorgeous journey this game takes you on, then set sail with this little guy, and just enjoy the view. Best style. Now, if you want to talk about style in the rawest sense, like how fucking cool something is, then Dandara is like Hustler Kid from Recess. This game is cool. Just look at this title screen. Hot Daniel. Every animation of Dandara's movement is stylish. The way you move across the world relates to the kind of character she is. You learn about her through the way she's animated instead of dialogue. Her character design made me want to throw out a fucking hang loose and put on some shades. And the bosses. There are only 3 bosses in this game, but each one was a masterpiece. From their menacing introductions all the way to their last hit, these boss fights were stylish and fun all the way through. Also, just the way the music changes in different areas to give you this sense of oppression. But just you, not Dandara. Dandara's too fucking cool to feel oppressed. Dandara just has that sleek look and feel that won me over, man. Every environment has its own unique palette, but manages to cohere with the rest of the world by having the corruption of the enemies creeping into it. Then you get to the gold-plastered enemy base and see what kind of elitist, dystopian bad guys you're dealing with, and think, damn, this game can't get more stylish. Then you get to the dream world. Look how this looks on the map. Now that's style. Best character. Honestly, I could make a list of top 5 Donut County characters. For a game that's 2 hours long, they managed to shove so much personality into the dialogue. Even if a character only has a few lines in the whole game, you get a sense of who they are and how weird they are. Luckily for us, BK is our main man, because he is quite the character study. This little shit is a piece of work. BK is a sociopathic raccoon who doesn't understand why the things he's done are horrible, and thinks everyone is just out to get him. His main motivation in the game seems to be just to get his quadricopter, and doesn't seem to care or notice that he's caused everyone in town a ton of problems on his pursuit to get it. This might be frustrating to some if he wasn't so damn funny about not caring. The best part of this game is reading the Trashopedia, where it shows all the items you've collected and how he views them. But as the game unfolds, you see that's not all he's about, that he cares for his friends, and may have even been brought up or manipulated into this whole controlling lifestyle. BK redeems himself fully by the end of the game, while retaining his spicy personality I grew to love. Best soundtrack. This is a very listenable soundtrack, in the sense that I have jammed out to a lot of these songs outside of the game. All the songs are very cohesive and similar, but even while being so similar, they still manage to set the tone for each level and make that level feel different from the last. It's hard to beat climbing to the top of the mountain and having this great song in the back feel like it's cheering you on as you get closer. You could tell Lena Raine really poured her soul into this soundtrack. The music really matches Madelaine's anxious personality, and the fact that there are mixes of the tracks for the B-side of the game is just fantastic. Even if you don't have time to play through the game, at least give the soundtrack a listen. It's definitely worth your time. The Game That Wants to Be a Movie Award. Red Dead 2 has movie-quality voice acting, sound design, storytelling, and music. It even has cinematic cameras that allow you to ride along the mountainside like you're watching a western. No wonder the gameplay is so boring. Rockstar has always done a great job at world building and making their games cinematic, but the kind of games I like are more like this. And less like this. Even The Last of Us, one of my favorite games of all time, and one where people's biggest gripe was the gameplay, had better shooting mechanics than Red Dead 2. If you want to watch a really good 40-hour Western movie, I guess play Red Dead. Most fun. Sometimes you just need a game that's going to distract you from your average, boring life where nothing exciting ever happens and you just repeat the cycle of work, sleep, eat every day until you die. So you strap on your headset and play Beat Saber and forget about all that. I had this stupid shit-eating grin on my face the whole time I played this game. It's incredibly fun and gives you a good workout to boot. Unfortunately on PSVR I don't get to play any song I want, so I don't get to jam out to Smash Mouth like all the other cool kids. But the songs they have already are good enough. It's so satisfying to slice shit up in this game. Having that alone would be fun enough, but to combine it with music and make it like DDR but with lightsabers is definitely cranking it up to 11. Definitely some pure childlike fun to be had with this game. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, the Objective Game of the Year. And the nominees are... And the award goes to... Sometimes the best game isn't the one with the most content, the most interesting story, the best graphics, or even the best gameplay. Sometimes the best game is all about how you felt. Donut County got a big sigh of happiness out of me upon completion. It was just what I needed at that time. I could see the passion that Ben Esposito and his crew put into this game that was based off a game jam. I haven't recommended a game more to people than I have this one this year, and that's a big reason why I chose it. Wanting to share this experience with as many people as I can means I truly cared for this game. And I've already had 2 beautiful experiences with it. Playing through it myself, and watching my girlfriend play through it and laugh at every piece of dialogue to pop up on the screen. It's one of my favorite game worlds ever created. I've never wanted a sequel to a game that doesn't need one more than I have for Donut County. Ben, keep making awesome games like this, man. From the title drop to the amazingly implemented credits, this game is the epitome of short and sweet. The indie scene's thriving more and more each year. AAA games saw the same level of passion this year as I see in indies, and gaming is still fucking awesome. Thank you all so much for watching this video. It truly means a lot to me. Gaming is my passion. They evoke the most emotion from me. They make me want to share my experience with others as well as have them share theirs with me. So now that I was able to share mine with you, I would love to have you all share how a game made you feel this year, down in the comments below. Whether it be something deep and emotional that was caused by a moment in a game, or even just a cool kill you had in Call of Duty. Let me know, I am genuinely interested. Lastly, I would like to thank some of the unsung heroes who gave me these games, the people with specific jobs that helped a pile of code become a work of art. I would love for you guys to reach out on Twitter to some of the people we all skip past in the credits of our favorite games, and let them know how their contribution was impactful. Here's a couple of the people I'd like to thank for their contributions. Cheers, everyone.